Today I've got Fateh Singh, who is a very outstanding cricketer to the point that he plays for Nottingham Cricket Club and also for England under 19. Okay, you got yourself, yeah?
Nice to meet you, Martin.
Yeah, I've known Fateh for a long time, and it's great to see this very young man doing great things within his sport of cricket, something what he's been passionate about for a very long time. So, Fateh, can you tell me what's actually changed in the last 2 to 3 years of your life, and basically what you actually changed as regards your lifestyle to make you put up with the demands of what your game needs for the modern game?
During COVID, really, I kind of had a realization point.
Yeah.
Where I thought I'm getting close to the point where it's time to decide on a player if you're in the county system.
Right.
So around 16, 17.
Yeah.
I thought that's when I had the realization that if I want to do this, if I'm serious about this, I've got to change.
Right. Okay.
I just small marginal gains here and there, like diet, what I eat and stuff.
So how did that change for you from what you was doing pre the changes what you were?
So
I've noticed you've got a bit leaner.
Previously, I never really paid attention to what I was eating that much, as close as I should have.
Yeah.
So I think just paying more attention to that, like what I eat, what's good for me,
Yeah.
and what not to eat, kind of things.
Yeah.
Like every now and again, you still have a takeaway and stuff, but it's just about consistency.
Right.
And
Okay.
finding that with eating the right things, getting the protein and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then after post-COVID, then cricket picked up for me.
Right. Okay.
So I had a good season, then I got put onto the academy, and then from there, I had a good winter, trained physically, got fitter,
Yeah. I can
stronger,
notice you looking leaner and stuff.
and I think that helped in the cricket as well.
Yeah.
So playing cricket, I could field better, I could bowl bowl for longer periods of time,
Right. Okay.
and batting, I avoid fatigue.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can perform my skill at a higher level, basically.
Right. Okay. So.
And then, I had a good season following the winter on the academy, and then I got selected for Super Fours, which is regional cricket.
Right.
So you got
Okay.
a team from the Midlands, a team from the North, South West, and South East.
Yeah.
And I played for the Midlands, obviously, having been from Nottingham. So in that, I did all right. Bowled quite well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from there, I was put onto reserve for England under 19s.
Okay.
So I think
That's good.
initially I didn't actually make the side,
Yeah.
but then having a few people weren't available, so I got a call up saying that I'm needed.
Yeah.
So from there, then in the series against West Indies, I played quite well. I think
Yeah.
bowled quite well, batted, got a few runs,
Cool.
and then was carried on from there. Really got selected to go to Sri Lanka, toured Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And toured Sri Lanka. Amongst that as well, I made my List A debut for Notts,
Okay. Which is.
which is professional debut. Yeah.
Okay. In the first team.
Yeah, in the first team.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so that was August time.
Right. Okay.
Played against my first initial debut was against Yorkshire,
Right.
but I didn't actually do anything there because it was rain affected,
Right.
so I didn't get a chance to bat or bowl.
Cool.
So then we played against Glamorgan a few days later, where we were bowled out for a very small total, but I managed to top score, and they knocked it off one down. Only one person got a wicket, but I bowled 3 tidy overs.
Okay.
Then we played against Northants after that. I bowled 10 overs, not for 30 yards, which is quite good
Which is
economically.
good. Yeah. So the other question what I want to ask you is 2 more questions I'm going to ask you. What do you want to achieve within the next 5 years? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? Do you want to progress to regular first team?
Yeah, definitely.
And then probably England.
Break onto that scene and play regularly in first team for all formats. So you got first class format, List A and T20. So I want to play all formats really.
Okay.
And that's for Notts. And in the next, I don't really like to think ahead, get too ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Obviously I have my end goals, but for me it's about staying in the now, staying in the present.
Right. Okay.
But in the next 5 years, I'd like to hope that probably become a mainstay in the first team
Yeah.
in all 3 formats,
Right. Okay.
and really like become a senior member of the squad. I think
Right. That's good.
that'll be my
That's good.
aim really,
That's good.
and hopefully to get play for England, perhaps,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and a few franchise gigs, so I play around the world, white ball cricket.
Oh, right. Is that normally like out of season?
Yeah,
In England,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
obviously you have your summer here where you'll play.
Yeah.
Then during the winter and then pre-season from January to like April time, you can have franchises like Big Bash, IPL,
Yeah.
the Abu Dhabi T10 League. There's now South African T20 League.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Caribbean Premier League, Canada Premier League,
Right,
Sri Lanka
cool,
Premier League.
cool,
So you got all of them that I potentially want to play in.
Cool. One more question, final question, yeah? Now, obviously I know your father, I know you've got good support system, you've got good siblings around you, but what advice would you give, because you're a very young man yourself, okay, it's easy for elder people and elder athletes to always say that sport isn't what it used to be, and, young people don't do things as well as the older sports people used to do. But what is your advice for, a young aspiring athlete, sports person, regardless of what sport they're involved in? Okay, in a very short sentence, what is your advice? What you'd give to a young aspiring athlete?
I think it's just like it's hard because I just want to say give it your all.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot more pieces to it.
Yeah,
than that,
like
isn't
you
it?
don't neglect your education.
Yeah.
Education, like really try hard with that. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sport, most sports, career times are quite short.
Yeah.
So you want that education to fall back on.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
But what about if they're not academically inclined? Let's say if the individual is not academically inclined, as regards they are an
so
athlete,
if they're
they are involved in a sport.
just on sport,
Yeah.
then I'd say just really like remember, like if you make it as a professional or
Yeah.
anything, or you're on academies and stuff like that, if you have a bad day, like let's say if you're a footballer, you have a bad game, as a professional athlete, you pretty much get paid to have more bad days than good days.
Right. Okay.
Because if you look at all these like people doing on the highest scene, they're not doing it every game.
Yeah.
So if you look
Outstanding
at Ronaldo,
games
yeah,
like that.
if you look at Ronaldo, for example,
Yeah.
even he has dry patches where he might not score a few goals,
Yeah, that's true.
but it's how they come back from that is what separates them from being the best
Right.
and
Okay.
just being a good professional.
Right. Okay.
So if you want to be the best, it's about finding the way to bounce back
Yeah.
and doing it quick.
Right.
Because the world class players, they bounce back quicker than
Quickly,
most.
yeah, true. Right, Fateh, thank you very much for spending time.
My pleasure.
Okay, doing a quick video, and I want to say best of luck with your endeavours in the game of cricket, and keep doing great things.
Thank you very
yeah?
much.
Nice one.